أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فإذا مس الإنسان ضر دعانا ثم إذا خولناه نعمة منا قال إنما أوتيته على علم بل هي فتنة ولكن أكثرهم لا يعلمون. قد قالها الذين من قبلهم فما أغنى عنهم ما كانوا يكسبون. فأصابهم سيئات ما كسبوا والذين ظلموا من هؤلاء سيصيبهم سيئات ما كسبوا وما هم بمعجزين. أولم يعلموا أن الله يبسط الرزق لمن يشاء ويقدر إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يؤمنون. قل يا عبادي الذين أسرفوا على أنفسهم لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله إن الله يغفر الذنوب جميعا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. صدق الله العظيم.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 8th edition of The Message. As you would know, The Message is the series of lectures organized by the Ministry of Islamic Affairs to promote religious awareness and the love for the Islam in the hearts of the Maldivians. Hello everyone, I'm Jueda Rashid and I'm the host for this evening. Before we go any further, let me thank for each and everyone for coming here and also for watching us on live TV. Thank you. A few moments ago, we heard the recitation of the Holy Quran by Al-Qariya Khadija Mogahed. Khadija Mogahed, it was a beautiful recitation. Thank you so much. Well, as you would know, we were previously planned to hold this event in the Alimas Carnival, but unfortunately, due to bad weather, we had to change the location to this hall, so I am so sorry for any inconvenience you had regarding this change. Moving on, tonight is a blissful occasion. I say blissful because it is the perfect word which describes the company we are in tonight. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, which one of our companions are the best? To which Prophet replied, it is the one whose appearance reminds you of Allah, whose speech increases your knowledge, and whose actions remind you of the hereafter. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure you would agree with me if I say that our sister Yasmin Mogahed is one such companion. Her lectures daily reminds us of Allah, and her words of wisdom are watched, read, and loved by the millions of people around the world. Here I would give a short description of Yasmin. Ustaza Yasmin Mogahed is known for her gift of captivating an entire audience with her thoughts and insightful reflections. She is a psychology graduate and attained her master's in journalism and mass communication from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. As a skilled creative writer, her literature speaks from the heart, and after completing her graduate work, she taught Islamic studies and served as a youth coordinator. Currently, she is a writer for the Huffington Post, an international speaker and author who focuses most of her work on spiritual and personal development. Her ability to relate all the intervals of life to one's relationship with the Creator is a remedy for those seeking comfort and solace in this dunya. And she has the honor of becoming Al-Mawarib Institute's first female instructor. Yasmin Mogahed, I want to say that we are incredibly overjoyed that you are here tonight. I'm sure we all are looking forward for your lecture on hope in Allah. So I call upon the stage the star of tonight, Sister Yasmin Mogahed, to deliver her speech.
Assalamu alaikum. All right, I feel like I'm leaning. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. I don't deserve anything of what she said. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this beneficial for me first and foremost. I need it, and for all of us. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. I personally love this topic. This is a topic which every single person needs. This topic is so important, hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for many reasons. One of the reasons why this topic is so important is because it is a deficiency in this that usually paralyzes us. It's because of this one thing that a lot of people are not able to proceed and are not able to be successful in the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so if a believer has this one tool, has this one thing, we can get through the storms of life, but we need to have this one thing, and that is hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we need to never let go of the hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the moment that we let go of hope that we drown. It's the moment that we let go of hope that we can no longer keep going. Because what happens is every single one of us are going to face storms, right? Because that's the way dunya is. It's storms hit us. We face things in life. There's no way, we can't control the weather, right? We can't control the fact that it rained. None of us could control the fact that it rained, right? But there's one thing that we can do, and that is that we can be inside shelter. Every single one of us, we weren't, if we were inside and it rained right now outside, it started to rain again, no one in this room would get wet, right? No one in this room would be affected by the rain. And that's because even though we can't control what happens in the weather, we can't control what happens outside, but we can be inside of the shelter when it comes. And that's exactly what we need to do as believers. That's what we need to do in our lives, is we need to make sure that we're in shelter, because no matter what hits us in our lives, we are in that shelter and we can keep going. And what is that shelter? That is hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and never letting go of that. Being in the shelter is being close to Allah. So you and I, we don't need to be worried about what hits us in life. Because you see, a person who sits and just worries about what's going to hit them and what's going to happen and what's not going to happen and what they're going to gain and what they're going to lose is like a person who sits and obsesses over the weather. Is it going to rain today? Is it going to be sunny? Or is it's not useful for us to sit and worry about the weather, right? Why is it not useful? Well, for two reasons. Number one, we can't control the weather, can we? And number two is the fact that our focus should not be on trying to control the weather or even worrying about the weather. Our focus should be that when the weather hits, we are in proper shelter. That when the weather hits, we have proper covering, right? If it's cold outside, you're okay as long as you're wearing a coat. If it's hot, you're okay as long as you're protecting yourself from the sun, right? So the point is that no matter what we go through in life, if we are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we can handle it. And we'll be able to get through it. And there's a formula that's actually, it's amazing, because there's a formula that we're given by Allah and His Messenger that allows us not only to survive bad weather, not only to survive our life, not only to survive the waves and the storms and the whatever it is that hits us, but actually be able to thrive in bad weather. That is a power that only a believer is given. That is an ability, that is a gift that we, only the believers, have. That no matter what we go through in life, we can actually not only survive, but thrive. And I'm going to give you an example of that. Such a powerful story. And it's the story of Asiya radiallahu anha. As you know, Asiya was the wife of the worst tyrant to walk the earth, right? Pharaoh. And this was a man, just to give you some context, this was a man who used to kill babies as a policy. That's who he was. He was a man who threatened to crucify those who expressed belief, to cut off their limbs on opposite sides. That's who this man was. And that's who she was married to. So you can imagine that when she expressed belief, when she believed in the message of Musa alayhi salam, what she had to go through. But the powerful story here, the powerful lesson here is that even while she was in that situation, right? So Fir'aun, when he found out that she had believed in other than him, this was a man who stood up and said, "Ana rabbukumul a'la," I am your Lord Most High. And she believed in the Lord of Musa alayhi salam. So he put her through torture. He put her through physical torture. He was trying to torture her. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took care of her. But there's something very powerful in her story, and that is that she asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show her home in Jannah. And the ayah that describes this story, when she asks Allah, رَبِّ ابْنِنِي عِنْدَكَ بَيْتًا فِي الْجَنَّةِ. Now this ayah is really interesting because it's structured in an unusual way. She's asking Allah, "Oh my Lord, build for me, ibnili indaka." Now she says here, build for me with you a home in Jannah. With you a home in Jannah. Why is this unusual? Because typically you wouldn't necessarily say it that way. You would say, build for me a home in Jannah with you. But her emphasis is on with you. Her emphasis is near you. So she's asking Allah, build for me a home near you in Jannah. What is the deeper understanding here? What can we get from this? And that is her focus even before Jannah is what? Near you. It's near you, near Allah. So her focus, and this doesn't surprise any of us because in this life, she was a queen, right? If she wanted palaces, she had that. And if her focus was these things, she already had that. But yet she chose Allah over the palaces of this world. So why wouldn't she choose Allah over the palaces of the next world, right? So she's asking Allah, build for me near you, that's my focus, a home in Jannah. Now, the commentators say that when she's being tortured, Allah actually shows her her home in Jannah while she's being tortured, and she smiles. Now think about that. Imagine a person being within the hardship. We're not talking about it's over, it was 20 years ago. She's in it. She's in it. She's currently in it, and she's smiling. She's able to smile. How is that she's able to do that? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave her the help. If Allah gives you help, even if you're in the hardship, even if you're in the middle, the eye of the storm, you not only will be able to survive, not only be able to just barely keep your head above water, you can actually thrive. And she's able to smile while she's in a situation many of us couldn't wrap our minds around. She's able to smile. Allah gave her the ability to see her home in Jannah. And because of that help, she was able to not only withstand her hardship, but be able to smile in the middle of her hardship. There's this is a story of a woman who lived a long time ago, right? And she's an example for all time, but I'm gonna tell you that this is real even today. This is real even today. I have a friend that I have met and I've been to her home, and I know her story because I've seen it. She's a woman who, when she had her first child, around the age of 3, her daughter, she got a call from the school, and the school said, that she just suddenly stopped talking. They didn't know what was wrong with her. So she took her to the doctor, and the doctor told her that your daughter has a rare genetic disorder called MPS, and this disorder is such that she will slowly, one by one, lose her faculties, lose her ability to do everything, until eventually she dies. And don't expect her to live past, even into her teens. This is what this mother is being told. Now this child is gonna lose her ability to do everything, meaning ability to speak, ability to sit up, ability to even swallow, ability to do everything. And little by little, she will have to watch her daughter slowly die. So this is what she's told, and then she has another daughter, and around the same age, it happens again that she stops speaking, and she gets this call. Again, she takes her to the doctor, and the doctor tells her that your second daughter also has the same genetic disorder, and both of them will go through the same process. And then she has a third daughter, and the same thing happens again. So this woman has 3 children with MPS. 3 children. People can't even imagine having 1 child with MPS. She has 3 children with MPS. And then she has a 4th child who has severe autism. So this is her. This is this woman. But I'm not telling you this story so that you can be sad and think about her life. I'm actually telling you this story for a different reason. I'm telling you this story because of this woman who's living today, and this is a real person that we can meet and lives in New Jersey. And she says to me one day, I'm drowning in gratitude. She says, I'm drowning in gratitude. Now, why did that just blow my mind? Because she's in a situation that we couldn't even imagine. I couldn't imagine. And yet, not only is she saying, yes, I'm patient. Not only is she saying that, she's actually saying, I'm drowning in gratitude. She has been given the ability to be grateful in a situation we could not even imagine. And then we have people who have all the money in the world and all the status in the world and all the fame and all the power, and they are miserable. And they are miserable. And they have to medicate themselves just to survive their lives, and they have to be drunk and high. And then they kill themselves. And these are people who have the things that we run after. And then there's this woman who has this calamity that we couldn't even imagine, and yet she is drowning in gratitude. How is that possible? By the way, this is a sign of Allah. This is a miracle and a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we actually, it's not only about her, but it's about us, because we need to reflect on these signs. These are signs for all of us to reflect on and learn from. This is a sign of one thing specifically, and that is that if Allah gives you His help, then even in the midst of the storm, you can not only survive, but you can thrive. That you can actually be smiling while you're in that hardship, like Asiya alayhi salam. And that's because Allah, if Allah holds you up, then you'll never be knocked down. If Allah is the one helping you, then you can handle it. And on the other hand, and it works the other way too, no matter how much you own, no matter how much you have, no matter how much help you have from the creation or how much stuff you collect, if you do not have Allah, you will not be able to handle 1 minute of your life. This is why people can't handle traffic jams. You know what I mean? They lose it. Take out guns and stuff, like road rage. You know what I'm talking about? It's like you have this person who's drowning in gratitude, living this life. And by the way, what I described to you, you don't fully understand until you go and you witness how she lives her life. I mean, at this point, mashallah, her children are still alive. They are in their teens. They did outlive what the doctor said. She, day and night, literally day and night, she is serving her. She's taking care of these children. They're obviously in wheelchairs, breathing machines. They can't even swallow their own saliva. So she has to suction so they won't choke on it. And this is also a lesson for us, because how many of us, I never thought of it. To say alhamdulillah that I was able to swallow my saliva, right? And I didn't choke on it. But this is a reality, that these are things that we have, we don't even notice. So we're not even grateful for them. But the point that I'm making here is that if a believer has hope, it's a weapon, it's a shelter that protects you no matter what hits you in life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, أَمْ حَسِبْتُمْ أَن تَدْخُلُوا الْجَنَّةَ وَلَمَّا يَأْتِكُمْ مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ خَلَوْا مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. Do you think that you will enter Jannah without going through what those who came before you went through? مَسَّتْهُمُ الْبَأْسَاءُ وَالضَّرَّاءُ وَزُلْزِلُوا. They went through adversity and hardship, and they were shaken. وَزُلْزِلُوا. The word zulzilu is from the same root for earthquake. Zilzal. Zulzilu. You know, when you go through something and it's so hard, it's like you're being shaken. It's like you're being shaken. Not just in one way, but shaken in every way, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, everything. It's just your life is shaken. وَزُلْزِلُوا. Allah is saying وَزُلْزِلُوا. They were shaken. وَزُلْزِلُوا حَتَّى. Now watch this. حَتَّى يَقُولَ الرَّسُولُ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مَعَهُ مَتَى نَصْرُ اللَّهِ. They're so shaken until even the messengers and the people with the messengers ask, when is the help of Allah coming? When will the help of Allah come? مَتَى نَصْرُ اللَّهِ. Now Allah, there's a number of things here that I want to point out. Here Allah is actually comforting us by telling us that we're not alone. Allah is telling us, number one, that we're not alone. We're not, when you go through a hardship and you feel like you're the only person who can understand, or you're the only person who's ever been through that, no one before, no one after, no one during, right? It's just you. And your hardships isolate you, make you feel alone, right? But here Allah is reminding you and me that we're not alone. That we're not alone. That this happened to those before us and it will happen to those after us. That they were also shaken. They were also tested. To the extent that even the messengers and those with them, so we're not talking about weak people here, right? We're talking about the strongest of the strong, the people who are with the messengers. They are asking, Mata Nasrullah? When will the help of Allah come? They're asking that question. And then Allah at the end of the ayah gives us that, that final hope. Ala inna nasrullahi qareeb. Indeed, the help of Allah is near. Indeed, the help of Allah is near. This is a promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the believers, وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنُونَ. That Allah, that for the believers, He says, don't despair, don't fall into despair. وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. Don't become weary, don't fall into despair. وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ. You will be the utmost. You will be victorious. You will be the one on top. You will be. This is a promise. But what is the if, right? There is a requirement. In kuntum, if you are believers. So this is a promise for the believers that we never have to lose hope. And we never have to give up, because no matter what happens at the end, we will be the ones who are victorious. Victorious over whatever it is that we're going through. We will come out on top if we are believers, truly believers. So the only thing we have to worry about, again, it's not the weather, but it's, are you in the shelter? Is it safe where you are? Are you near to Allah? You have to hold on to Iman, hold on to your faith. And then with that, you're given the promise that you will always be successful. Now, I'm going to say this, though. It is a process. It is a process, just like everything in life. If you study the world, if you study everything around, you learn lessons about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah tells us in Surah Al-Imran, إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth and the alteration of night and day are signs for ulil albab. Who are ulil albab? Ulil albab literally mean people who have insides, substance, lub. It's plural of lub. So the people who have lub, in other words, people who have an innermost part. Lub is literally it would be talking about the innermost part of a loaf of bread, for example, would be called lub. The people who have that. Right? It's translated as those who think, or those. It's not just about that. Because we have a lot of geniuses out there who have IQs off the chart and they're atheists, right? So it's not just about using this. It's not just about using this, but it's about using this. It's about being able to understand the signs all around us. And there are a lot of very intelligent people, and yet their mind has misguided them. So it is not just about intelligence up here, but ulil albab is something deeper than just that, than just your IQ. These are signs for all around us are signs for those who have albab, who have that understanding and that innermost part. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك. These are people, so then Allah goes and describes who are these ulil albab, who are these people. He describes them as those who remember Allah standing and sitting and on their sides. Dhikr. That they remember Allah. Their dhikr is constant. Their dhikr is persistent throughout their life. No matter what they're going through, they're remembering Allah. Standing and sitting and on your sides. Think about it. When you're as a human being, what other position can you be in? You're either standing, or you're sitting, or you're laying down, right? So Allah is telling us that these are people who remember Allah in every circumstance of life. When they're rich and when they're poor, when they're getting what they want and when they aren't. When it's convenient and when it isn't. When you're in ease and when you're in hardship, they're remembering Allah. And they are led to a very important realization. رَبَّنَا مَا خَلَقْتَ هَذَا بَاطِلًا سُبْحَانَكَ. O Allah, you have not created all of this without a purpose. You are exalted above that. You have not created all of this without a purpose. What does that mean? It means that the sun was not created without a purpose. The stars were not created without a purpose. The moon was not created without a purpose. The sky was not created without a purpose. The mountains were not created without a purpose. But it also means that whatever I've been through in my life, it also was not created without a purpose. That whatever happened to me, whatever didn't happen to me, whatever I got, whatever I lost, none of it was without a purpose. Everything that Allah does has a purpose. And then they are led to the conclusion that you have not created all of this without a purpose. Everything in life has a purpose. فَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. So protect us from the punishment of the hellfire. This is what they are led to. They understand that everything in life has a purpose. Now, when we see stories like these that we witness today, the story of my friend with her children, and she's saying, I'm drowning in gratitude, this is a sign for us. This is a sign that we need to reflect on, that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps you, then you can withstand anything. And if Allah were to leave you, you wouldn't be able to handle even a traffic jam. You can't handle your life. You can't handle anything. Everything feels so heavy. But if Allah helps you, then the heaviest thing feels light. And that's what her story teaches us in real life today. That when Allah is carrying for you, the heaviest thing feels light. Because you know why? You're not the one carrying it. You're not the one carrying it. Allah is carrying it. One of the biggest mistakes we make when we face a hardship is depending on ourselves. So you're going through the hardship and you say, I got this, right? Like, I got this, I'm good. You know, the storm hits, you're in the middle of the ocean, you're on a boat, and you think, no, I got this, I got my life jackets. We either depend on the creation or we depend on ourselves. So we go for the life jackets. Or actually first we call for help. And then all of a sudden realize that it's not working, like the telephone isn't working. So then we're like, no, we're still okay, let's look for the lifeboats. So you go look for the lifeboats, but they're all broken, they're all gone, they fell off. Okay, now you're starting to panic a little bit, but it's okay because you still have life jackets, right? So then you go to the life jackets and then you realize that they're also gone. Now it's only when we've exhausted everything else, now what do? Now's when we look up, right? Now we look up. Now we say, okay, God, help me. Why? Because I've already tried every other thing. I've already exhausted my dependence on other than you, and only now, when you've taken all of that away, now I look up to you. This is actually one of the, I'd say, blessings of hardship. The blessings of hardship is actually, it makes us, it forces us, because us humans are really stubborn. And we just like to depend on whatever's near and easy, and we like to depend on what we can see over what we cannot see. So when hardship comes, it forces us to do what? It forces us to depend on Allah. Because what happens is if Allah takes away those false dependencies, I have no other choice, right? If Allah took away my money, how can I keep depending on my money? I might be depending on my money, and then Allah takes it away. Now I can't depend on it anymore. It was a false dependency to begin with, right? So then Allah takes these things away, and one of the blessings of hardship is that I actually am led back closer to Tawheed, closer to dependence fully on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then it's Allah who saves me. One of the ayats that the sister beautifully recited was talking about when people are in hardship and they call out to Allah, and then Allah saves them, and then they say, oh, it's because of me. After Allah saves them, they say, it's because of me. We like to depend on ourselves. We like to take credit for what Allah gives us. Now, one of the mistakes that we make, if I tell you that this hardship is a test, some of us say, okay, this is a test, so therefore, I need to depend on myself. And we say, no, I'm okay, I got this. And then what we do is, internally, we harden up. Internally, we become hardened. And that is actually the mistake that we make, because the hardship is intended to soften us, not harden us. But when you depend on yourself, it hardens you inside. And instead, what you have to do is you have to soften. And the whole point of the hardship is to say, I don't got this. I need you. It's to make you realize that. To make you stop depending on other than Allah, stop depending on yourself, and depend only on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now there are stories that were given in the Quran, stories of those who came before us. These stories are not just to entertain us, they're not just for us to tell our kids, nice bedtime stories, but these are very, very deep and timeless lessons. One of these stories is the story of Zakaria, Prophet Zakaria alayhi salam. Prophet Zakaria alayhi salam was nearly 100 years old, and his wife was barren. But he decides that he's going to make dua for something. And what he makes dua for is something that most people would agree is impossible. What does he make dua for? A son. Let me repeat. He's almost 100 years old, and his wife is barren, meaning she cannot have children. But he still asks Allah for a son, for a child. There's a lesson in that. Allah told us this story for a reason. And he says, even in the ayah, he says, that he's making this dua because he doesn't want to ever despair in asking Allah for anything. So he's asking Allah for something which we would, for all practical purposes, say is impossible. But he still has hope in Allah. He still has hope in Allah, and he still asks. And Allah actually grants him his dua. He gives him a child. This, again, is to teach us that there is nothing impossible with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you have hope in Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give you anything. When Musa alayhi salam was standing in front of the Red Sea, you know this story. And Pharaoh is coming behind him with his army. This is a really intense situation. I mean, he's standing in front of a giant body of water with some slaves, and then behind him is a superpower army. And as they are approaching the people with him, Bani Israel, they react in a sort of understandably, human way. How many of us would react in that situation, or any similar situation, or any lesser situation? فَلَمَّا تَرَاءَ الْجَمْعَانِ قَالَ أَصْحَابُ مُوسَى إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ. When they saw that the armies were approaching, they said, the people of Musa, we will indeed be overtaken. Like, that's it. You know when you're in a difficult situation and it looks impossible, you see no way out, a lot of us react just like that. We say we're going to be overtaken, right? We're not going to win this one. We're going to get taken by this, and you want to give up, right? That's exactly what Bani Israel did. That's exactly what their reaction was. Why do you think that was their reaction? Actually, there's a very deep reason why that's their reaction. That's their reaction because they're focused on the army. They're focused on the problem. They're focused on the size of the army, the strength of the army, Pharaoh. They're focused on the problem itself. They're focused on the creation. And so if you focus on the problem, it actually looks bigger. This is actually psychology. This is something that's shown in psychology. Anytime you focus on something, it appears larger in your eyes. Okay? And that applies to everything. So if you're focusing on a blessing, it looks bigger in your eyes. That's why the practice of gratitude is so powerful in terms of well-being. Okay? So the rule is whatever you focus on enlarges. It looks bigger. So a person who is in the habit of focusing on positive, they will actually be happier because the positives will look bigger. Okay? And a person who is in the habit of focusing on problems will be very, very depressed because the problems will look bigger and they will suffer from anxiety, etc. And that's because it has to do with what you're focused on. What you focus on grows. It looks bigger in your eyes than it actually even is. These people were focused on the problem. They were focused on the army. They were focused on Pharaoh. They were focused on his might. But then you have that contrasted with Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam replies, قَالَ كَلَّا. He says, nope, by no means. They're saying, we will indeed be overtaken. Okay? And his response, he doesn't even flinch. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't even flinch. He just says, nope, no, not by no means. قَالَ كَلَّا. It's so powerful and just so short. قَالَ, he said, كَلَّا, by no means. Kalla is a very strong way of saying no way. قَالَ كَلَّا. Now, what comes next is important. Now, Musa alayhi salam could have been so confident for many reasons. He could have been like, no, we won't be overtaken because I'm really strong. I could just punch someone and kill them, so that's why we're not going to be overtaken. He could have been confident because of his own abilities. He was very strong, right? He could have been confident because of something in him or in those around him, but he doesn't. He says, قَالَ كَلَّا. Why? Why is there no way that we're going to be overtaken? إِنَّ مَعْيَ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينَ. That's why. Because indeed my Lord is with me, and he's going to get me through this. That's what he says. قَالَ كَلَّا إِنَّ مَعْيَ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينَ. Indeed my Lord is with me, and he will guide me through this. He'll take me through this. That's intense, because this man is standing in an impossible situation. There is no logical way out, right? Right? Everyone agree? You're in front of the Red Sea. You got an army behind you. What's he going to do? Is he going to fly? What are they going to do? How are they going to get out of this situation? The reason why it's so powerful is his hope in Allah was so deep, and his trust in Allah was so deep, that even though he didn't know how he was going to get out of the situation, he had absolutely no doubt that he was going to get out of the situation. He had absolutely no doubt that Allah would save him, that Allah would take him through it, even though he didn't know how. You see what I'm saying? It's one thing if you got an exit strategy, you got some sort of strategy, you can figure it out, it's happened before. This kind of thing doesn't happen every day. But his trust in Allah was so deep that even though he didn't know how, he knew that Allah would get him through, and he knew Allah would not allow them to be overtaken. You know what? Musa alayhi salam was trained. Musa alayhi salam, because this is the sort of like the end of the story a little bit, right? The end of Pharaoh. But if you go back and you study the story of Musa alayhi salam, you find that Musa alayhi salam's training started a long time before that. But I'll just give you one glimpse of his training, one glimpse. And that is the first time when he spoke to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah told him to do a few things. Told him to take off his shoe, right, his shoes. And then he asked him about his staff. He said, مَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينَكَ يَا Musa. What is it that's in your right hand, O Musa? And Musa alayhi salam said, هِيَ عَصَايَ أَتَوَكَّأُ عَلَيْهَا. It is my staff, I lean on it. I lean on it. Okay. What does Allah tell him to do with that staff that he's leaning on? قَالَ أَلْقِهَا يَا Musa. Throw it. Throw it. Let go of it. Now, commentators talk about this ayah. And one of the interpretations of this ayah, one of the meanings of this ayah, is that the staff was something that he was leaning on. In other words, it could have been a false dependency of the creation, because it's a staff. It's just a staff. It's just a stick. So Allah is training Musa alayhi salam by telling him to throw it. Let go of that. Don't lean on that thing. قَالَ أَلْقِهَا يَا Musa. Throw it, O Musa. So he throws it. This is part of him letting go of these dependencies on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now Allah tells him, take it back. And when he threw it, he sees it becoming a snake. Then he says, take it back. Don't be afraid. I will return it to its original form. There is a very deep lesson in that too. Who's in charge of the creation? Allah. Who's in charge of whether the creation is going to help you or bite you? You see, because the same thing, in one case it's your support, and then the next second it's a snake, right? Who is the one who transforms the creation? Who's in charge of the creation? Allah. And Allah transformed something that he was leaning on into something that was a snake, and then back. It shows him who is in charge. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching and raising Musa alayhi salam to do what? To depend on him and to be able to see through these illusions. So now when we fast forward and he's standing in front of the Red Sea, Musa alayhi salam is not seeing the Red Sea. Musa alayhi salam is not seeing the army. What is Musa alayhi salam seeing? Allah. He's seeing Allah in this situation. And remember, what you focus on looks bigger. There's a reason we're told to remember Allah standing and sitting and on our sides. There's a reason we're told that when Allah talks about dhikr, He says, ذَكَرُ اللَّهَ kathiran, that they remember Allah, not a little, not once in a while, but a lot. Because the more we remember Allah, the more great Allah appears in our lives. Make sense? So the more that a person remembers Allah, the more powerful Allah appears in my eyes. Of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's power is infinite, regardless of whether I remember Him. But to me, the way I see His role in my life, it grows when I remember Him more. Make sense? So now when I remember Him a lot, Allah looks huge in my life and the creation doesn't look as big. Right? Whatever I remember, whatever I focus on looks big. So if my focus is money, if my focus is my business, if my focus is, if that's all I think about, that's all I talk about, that's all I, pray about, that's all I focus on, then money looks really big. If my focus is dunya, then dunya looks really big. And if I don't remember Allah, Allah to me looks small. That's why we suffer from these things. That's why we suffer from love of dunya. The answer is really very simple. The reason we suffer from love of dunya is because we're focused on dunya. Because that's all we think about and that's all we talk about. That's what our conversations are about. That's what we think. Whatever you're going to talk about and think about and focus on, it's going to look massive in your eyes. That's why dunya overtakes us and takes over our hearts. Because that's all we focus on. But when we shift that and instead focus on Allah, then Allah looks bigger in our lives and dunya looks smaller. Allah looks bigger, the hereafter looks bigger, and dunya looks smaller. And it just has to do with what your focus is. Musa alayhi salam has been trained to see Allah in these situations, not these illusionary, barriers. The sea and the army, those are all just the creation. And at the end of the day, they are an illusion because they're in the hands of Allah. They're just tools. They're just tools. And Allah can destroy, open, do whatever He wants with them. Now, what happens when you have this type of hope in Allah, this type of trust in Allah? قَالَ كَلَّا إِنَّ مَعَيَ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينَ. My Lord is with me, He'll guide me through this. Even when it looks impossible. Now let me just say this before I conclude this point. No one in this room is likely to be in a situation where they're standing in front of a large body of water, which you guys, alhamdulillah, have all around you, and an army behind you, right? We're not going to be in this exact situation. True? But will we be in a situation where we feel trapped? Will we be in a situation where we can't see a solution? Will we be in a situation where we see no way out? Yes or no? Yes, absolutely. And so when we are in that situation, there is a lesson from this story. Because of his hope and trust in Allah, what does Allah do for him and those who are with him? Allah tells him, take the staff which is now just a tool, right? He's not leaning on anymore. It's not a false sense of, dependency at that point. He says, strike the sea. And he strikes it, and Allah splits the Red Sea in half, opens up the sea. This is a miracle, but I want to explain to you that miracles happen in our lives too. We have to see deeper, you guys. We're not just reading these stories and be like, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, wow, that's amazing. But what does it have to do with me? It has everything to do with me. Allah can split the Red Sea in your life too, you see? It's not just about a physical Red Sea splitting in half. That's a metaphor. It's true, it happened, but it also represents all the problems we face, all the barriers, all the things that trap us. And that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can open those for us too. It's only a matter of where is your trust and do you have hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم إنه غفور رحيم سبحانك الله وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
MashaAllah, that was a beautiful speech. Thank you so much, Yasmin Mogahed. Next is the presentation of token of appreciation to Yasmin Mogahed. So I kindly request the State Minister of Ministry of Law and Gender, Maryam Azra, to come on the stage to do the honor. Also Sister Yasmin.
Over here.
Thank you so much, Azra. Next, I call Sister Latifa Ahmad to come on the stage to give a brief summary on Yasmin's lecture in the way. Well, I request all of you to not to leave the hall until she finishes the translation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ade demme mitanga taqrir korevi befala korevi taqriruge khulasa kurman aluganda miyogut alibifa ot kamaku aluganda ki efada kuladana qabil beflaka mihaka nuvedane එහෙනමස් අලුගඬ ෆහුම්වි මෙම්බරකුන් මයන් අල්ලාහ්ගේ වාගේ ෆුලා එකීගා ඒ කමනා විදාළු බස්ත දිවේ ෆලොන්න දිවේ බහුන් තර්ජමා කොද්ද වේතෝ අලුගඬ වසේකේ කොරාන දිවේ ෆලොන්න සංගවඩායනන් ෆදාන් එකමනා වාක් ෆලො දෙක්කවි අල්ලාහ්ගේ රහමත උම්මීද් කුරුන් අල්ලාහ්ගේ රහමත දෙතරි අලුගඬ මින් බරෝසා වමුගේ මුහිමුකමා බෙහෙගොතුන් එකමා බෙහෙගොතුන් වරක් ගින වාහක විදාළු දෙවැෆි එගොතුන් එම්මේ ෆරතම විදාළු වාහකේකි අල්ලාහ්ගේ රහමතන් උම්මීද් කුරා මීහකු දුනියේගේ කන්තතකුන් නා උම්මීදෙන්වානේ මායුස්සෙන්වානේ ඒ අලුගන් මෙන්නම් ආමුගතේගා ඉන්සානුම් වීම අලුගන් මෙන්න මෙවාගතකි අලුගන් මෙන්න ෆෙන්නනි අලුගන් මෙන් කුරිමතිගා ඔන්න මස්සල ඒ මස්සලයන් අලුගන් මෙන්න ફોકસ කරවේ තියේ අලුගන් මෙන්නම් අල්ලාහ්ගේ රහමතන් උම්මීද් කුඩ කුරෙවෙනි අලුගන් මෙන්න සයිකොලොජි මේ නෆ්සානි ඉල්මු ගොතුම් බලා විදාල්වි අලුගන් මෙන්න ફોકસ කරවේ එච්චකේ බොඩුකොම් ෆෙන්නානි එහෙම අලුගන් මෙන්නම් ඔන්න මස්සලේ බෙදේකම වඤ්ඤා ඒ මස්සලේ කෂේ අලුගන් මෙන්න බොඩුකො ෆෙන්නානි ඒගේ හල්ලෙන් නෝනේ ෆෙන්නානි කිදෙන් එකම බෙහෙ ගොතුම් දෙකේ වාහක් ෆුල්ගේ තෙරෙන් එකකි පෙවේ ෆුලුන්ගේ වාහක තබස් එගෙන්නේවි ඒගොතුම් ෆරතම වාහක ෆුලේ ගොතුක විදාල්වි ෆිරාන් ගම් කම්බලුන් ආසියතුගේ ෆානුගේ වාහක ෆුලු තිබේ ෆුලනේ සංගි වඩයන්වානේ ෆිරාන් කි කලක්කම දර්වා කුරි රබ්බුඩ් ජබ්බාර් රස්කලේ ඒ ෆිරාන් විදාල්වනි අන රබ්බුකුම ලාවිලා තිමන්නේ කි මේ කලෙක්කම දර්වා කුරි මිහි එහෙනවස් ඒ ඒනගේ අමිකඹලුන් ආසියතුගේ ෆානු ඒනගේ කුරිමතීගා ඒනගේ අරිහුගා උළු වමුම් වඩාගෙන වීරුගා එකමනා මේ අල්ලාහ්ගේ රහමතන් උම්මීද් කුරවවාති එකමනා අල්ලාහ්ගේ රහමතුන් අබද එකමුගේ මේ රහමත් අල්ලාහ්ගේ රහමත බරෝසා කුරවවාදේ බොඩුකමුන් අල්ලාහ් එකමනාය එකන්තත්ත දෙව්වෙවි ගොතුක වාහකේ විදාළුවි එගොතුන් එකමනා කුරේ විදුවා ربي ابن لي عندك بيتا في الجنة تمن كمنا اتشكا الله حضرتك سورغيغا مي غندوره بنا كوروا فاندي විදාළු විකර විදුවා එහෙම එකමනා දිමාවි හුරිහා දතිකමෙග්ග හුරිහා උඳගුලෙග්ග එකමනා ෆිරිකලුන්නකි එයි අල්ලාහ් සුබ්හානහු වතාලා ෆියව මිදුනෙමතිගේ තිමන්නේකි කලාංකව දාවා කුරි මෙහෙනස් ඒවගුතුගෙස් එකමනා එකම බිරුණු ගණ එකම වර බොඩන් අල්ලාහන් එකමනා හිතුගේ ලෝබි ඔතුමුගේ සවබුන් එකමනා එකන්ත ඒ ෆහනලා දියකන් අදි අල්ලාහ් සුබ්හානහු වතාලාගේ රහමතන් උම්මීද් කුරා හාලුග එකමනා මිදුනිය දෝක දියකන් එයි අල්ලාහ් සුබ්හානහු වතාලා උම්මීද් කුර අල්ලාහ් සුබ්හානහු වතාලාගේ රහමතක් මායුස් නුවා කොම්බ ඉන්සානකන් ඔය ෆිලාවලේ කමුග විදාළු දෙවි දෙංග විදාළු දෙවි මේ දුනියමතිග මිහාරු සිංගමුදා කන්තතකේ තිබෙ ෆොනල් ගන් හිවන අල්ගන් කොම්ම හකුණු දෙකස් ඉංග වඩන්න මාන කාල්කොතක කන්නේගේ විදාළු දෙවි එකමනාගේ රටේ ෆොල් බේෆොලෙගේ තින් කුදින්න දිමාය ෆුරි හාදිසාතකේ ගවහක තින් කුදින්න බෙ සමේ කාල මේ ජෙනෙටික් බලතක ජෙහිගෙන් දිය වාකය ආදි හතරොන කුජ්ජාකේ ඔඩිසම් ගේ ශිකාරක වි කුජ්ජකේ එහෙන්නම එෆද හාලුගෙස් එකම් ඒ මම්ම එබ්බස් හාලේග මායුස් නොවේ ඒන අල්ලාහ් සුබ්හානහු වතාලාගේ රහමතන් උම්මීද් කුරා හාලුග ඒන බුණනි තිමන්න mi uleni I'm drowning with gratitude එහෙම තිමන්න එන වරන් ශුකුරු එරිකම වරන් කෙත්තරකම අයකෝ එකම් මේ තහම්මල් කරමුන් දිය දියුම් එහෙම ඒ වරන් ආදයා ඛිලාෆ් වාහකේ ගොතුග අලුගණ්ඩ වෙස් ෆෙනුනි දැන් තිමන්න කම ගොතුග ඒ විදාළු දෙවි අල්ලාහ් සුබ්හානහු වතාලාගේ ෆරාතුම් මදදන් එදේශේ අල්මන්නේ වාගොතකි අලුගණ්ඩ මෙන්න දුනියගේ දිමාවා කන්තතවග අලුගණ්ඩ මෙන්න ෆරතම මදද එදෙවෙනි නෝනි ෆරතම අලුණ බෙලෙනි අලුගණ්ඩ මෙන්ගේ වශායගෙන් හුණ කන්තතකෂේ නුවත් ඒගේ ෆහුම් අලුගණ්ඩ මෙන් හදාෆ දුනියමතිගේ ඉන්සානුන් හදාෆුන්න ඉච්චිසෂේ අලුගණ්ඩ බෙලෙනි එනස් ඒකන්තතක් බෙලොමුගේ කුරීගා නෝනි ඒකන්තතකු මද දෙදුමුගේ කුරීගා අලුගණ්ඩ මෙන් හෙද්දිස් අල්ලාහ් සුබ්හානහු වතාලාය බරෝසාකොන් ඒකලාගේ මදදන් එදේකමුගා වා නම අල්මෙන්න මිෆද කන්තතවග තංකොලේ මි Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ge madadan edekam gawana malgon men libe hinhama jehum wes boduwane den mi ekama behe gotum wahaka dakkamun vidalwani alugon men nan ekani nuune dune matiga hiddati kama nikameti kama dati kama derakan tatadimawani ki ei ekamana vidalwe de ayate bas am hasibtum an tadkhulul jannata wala ma yatikum masalul ladina khalaw min qablikum masathumul ba'sa wad dharra wa zulzilu hatta yaqula rasul wal ladina amanu ma'ahu mata nasrullah ala inna nasrullahi qarib e vidalwe e Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wahi korwa fa ayaten ega onnani ahar mem e ayatugu macca barosa ko ayatugu macca bina ko wahaka dakkamun vidalwani e kuriga mihunna ves mikal kantata ka dimawi adi fahun anna mustaqbal guys mikal kantata mihunna dimawma ki ekshigem wa kameke dimawani ehmima rasulun ge ari hogat befulu misna wadam balla rasulun ge ari hogati be befulu misalaka kirta rasulullah sahabi fada be fulum ves efada haletoga vidalwi kon irakum bae Allah ge madad timanne menna libeni ehm vijjiya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ekama gule gotumi angon ala inna nasrullahi qarib wara carige madad oti Allah ge madad tibefuna wara carige oti enkawanya sister Yasmine vidalwani alugon min Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ge ummi rahmatan ummid kurum sharuten e bote sharutaki almennaki Allah ke ben iman begen alugon min aqida alugon min iman kamuga Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gulifa ba kamuga wume den ekama gule gutun abadwes iman kama aqida ga alugon men bar hifaten jeheni ei sabaki alugon men duniye matiga mi ufadda Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ufadda fa taketi ufadda fa wani kuliwara kan nuni ben men negotu ga nune e guta vidalwe ayati inna fi khalqis samawati wal ard ay al imran suratun wa ikhtilafil layli wan nahari la ayatin lil albab mihar duniye matiga iruara usuma me redu wata kuraruma mikantatta mi badaluma mikanta takrar wumuga mi visna mi hunna buddhi ga hulwerina hekitaken ebaweye ehema almen khasagutega hadan korenje wahake ekama vidalwani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yakum fada halate gas alugon men barosa wum Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ga rahmatun ummidu kanda nulu den vidalwe devi ane wahake ki alugon men Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ya barosa wanje sabaki alugon menge hayatuga dimawa derawar kantataga dati kantata alugon men dimawani hagigatuga alugon men Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gaay kurumattakai almen nan evves ehi teriyege faratun ehi nulibe wagutuga handan korani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala em ekan asluge guleni alugon aqida alugon men iman kama ehen kama wanya e alugon menge ekkala massala ei alugon men dimai furi hiddati kamuga ves hagigatuga en alugon men mi libeni wara bodu kaamiyabe wara bodu falahen alugon men e masalage sababun namais Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guluwade dinu den sister Yasmin den vidala devvi alugon men datikame jehunima alugon men emme furatama visneni alugon men ge carry ge washagen tibe mi hunna meduwe no tam alugon men avilla nafsa meduwe misalaka kanduwegen gule gadiyege ves alugon men balani furatames misalaka mi coast guard gule toy den ek fam balani life jacket huri toy e ekantatta en evs kamek neti life boat evs neti mi life jacket evs neti adi mi almena mi coast guard tanaka gulene gote evs neti mege fahon almen bo fulala me bunani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala algon me midannawani miharu timanna ge ohen hal den Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mati mi hadam wani ege badaluga sister Yasmin vidalwani furata manum ves emme furata manus datikame jehunima Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala matin hadan korashe egutun den war rangalu misalen dekkevi Musa ge faanuge misal ege kuriye dakamuga wanya dekke Zakariya ge faanuge misal Zakariya ge faanu umru fulun sateka harfulu ve wadan sateka harfulu diyafahum adi ekale faanuge ambikamanayaki dari nulibe mihekkan ingiwadan hunnawa halu guys ekay fan dua kurevi Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala timan kale fan dariya ku devashe ei sister Yasmin vidali gothon kawanya duniye mati galugon mi medical terms bala kawanya alugon min anin hen duniye mati friend kantaka balanya impossible kame bumabura numun gaak kame enonto ennames ekale fanuge aqida ekale fanuge iman terikan ekale fana yakin kodde kahala Allah danna washe erun devwane e mekale fan dennevi natija ke kala fana befla kuli boda agati isna wadam balwa mi hame kan Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ya e alaka de terega oi kame den dekkevi Musa ge faanu ge wahaka Musa ge faanu Red Sea rekkandu ge kurimati ge hunnevi Musa ge faanu fahatun annani Firaun ge lashkar de malgon kurimbuni henge wara jabbar wara boda lashkare ekama vidalu demme sister Yasmine vidalu er bani Israelun evagut focus kureveni ekkala lashkarashe kurimati go kandashe emihun emihun ka nufeni salam wani ves mage ekamaku Musa ge faanu vidalwani timan kale faanu ge ver raskalange timan kale ge faanu mikamun salame koddevani e Musa ge faanu yaki Musa ge faanu ituru kamaka nuballawa dem Yasmine vidali fa sister Yasmine vidali fa den alugun min balamvi alugun min lifoi masale kannu alugun min balamvi alugun min ekamu hallu libeni Allah subhanahu wa taala alugun min ga vi min barakunka ehmima Musa ge faanu vidalwani adi alugun min mikamun salame vevene mikamun salame koddevani ehema Musa ge faanu ga aswa kolu ga wahaka vidalude Musa ge faanu aswa kolaki Musa ge faanu rasul kama faanu kuriga ekay faanu e apulu jassawagi hinga wairu ekay faanu mi e bare ekay faanu libodana bare gutu gengulu vecche ekamu furatama mi Musa ge faana mi Allah subhanahu wa taala demeduga hingi muamalatu ge tere Allah subhanahu wa taala ingeviye Musa ge faanu aswa kol illa lawash Musa ge faanu aswa kol illa levi me badaluvi harufa eka ehema den e tafaatu e agoy kurin ekay faanu ege macca barosave ege faratum waagi hodi ecche mihariyoti ekay faanu hamale ves di faanu fadeche goto ganno to ehemima egen dehawa filawalaki Allah subhanahu wa taala kuladum wante komme kamakaves hama komme kamakaves kuladum wante e anika them back again anika Allah subhanahu wa taala angawani e harufa timan kalange badlu koddewa faanami ege amilla zata hama asawa kolu gotuga bisnawadem balla ekala red sea like kandu debaya bෑවගෙන් දියයි එකලෙක් ෆානු ගෙන්ගුළුවි අසවකොළු කණුග ජෙස්සෙවීම එකල කුරිමතින් මිෆහතුම් යන ලෂ්කරු එබාදේ ඒ ලෂ්කරු ෆෙනේ බනි ඉස්රායිල් උන්න එන්නස් මූසාගේ ෆානු අල්ලාහ් සුබ්හානහු වතාලා එගොත වහී කරවීම ඒ කණුග ඒ ජෙස්සෙවුන් ඒ කණු මෙදුන් දෙබය බෑවගෙන් දියීම එකලේ ෆානුගේ අහුල් වෙරින්න එතනු සලාය වෙගින් ඒ දෙවුනි එහෙමීම හකීගතු ගයිස් මීගේ මී හුරිහා වාහකයිගේ khulasa ki evs halega alugun ming amilla nafsa jihe dati undagutaka derevaru kantatakon mayus nuwashe ama komme insana kos duniya fono vi Allah subhanahu wa taala alugun ming iman terikama alugun ming ekalange barosa wa waru ekalange komme kamaka kolodumanta kama konfada kama ko magen alugun mena dakwa faane kamuge yakin kan alugun ming onna hidako Allah subhanahu wa taala alugun ming dera nokorawane em alugun ming huriha emmes qabul koram vi Allah subhanahu wa taala de tira alugun ming onna golun abadwes khalis kurang alugun ming aqida warugad kurang alugun ming iman terikam warugad kurang mang Allah te emha kambalunna kalunna alugun ming emmenna he rahmallah amin assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh
Thank you, Latif Ahmed. Well, before I conclude, I have got a very good news for you to announce that our Yasmine's books are available for you to buy outside the hall. So please don't miss this opportunity. Now we have come to an end of this event. We thank you all for visiting us. Thank you all the NGOs, all the organizations, medias, and everyone for watching us and helping us making this event very successful. And a very special thanks goes to Maldives Marketing and Public Relation Campaign for their generous help for this event under the campaign Visit Maldives Year 2016. Thank you. Wish you all a blessed Eid and have a good night.